Minister, first of all, I want to welcome you to the Senate of Canada. As a fellow African, I have to tell you that your presence here gives me immense pride that you have come to the place of my work. I have often, Minister, spoken about Yazidi girls, and I first want to compliment you for the girls and the families, the Yazidi families that you have brought here. Minister, the thing that has really touched me is that you didn't just bring the girls, you brought their families. I cannot thank you enough, and I want to say to you that for over a year I've been working with women in Vancouver who are part of what's called the Rose Campaign, who were in the forefront of trying to bring these women here. We met on Saturday together, and this is their question that they're asking. So I will try and ask my question in their words. As you know, Minister, 5,200 girls were enslaved. 3,000 are still enslaved. Just today's news from the UN that they have just rescued 63. My question to you, Minister, is exactly, or the Rose Campaign's question to you, Minister, is exactly how many girls have been brought to Canada, and what is being done with our other, like-minded countries like Norway, Denmark, Sweden? What is being done to rescue the other girls, and what asylum will those girls be given, and in what countries?
Sam.
Thank you very much, Senator Jaffer, for that question. But before I begin, I'd like to thank you for the best wishes that you've sent my way, and also to acknowledge the long friendship and working relationship that we've had, and your generosity to me as a member of parliament when I first arrived here in 2015. The ongoing operation that we've had to bring all survivors of Daesh, but predominantly Yazidi women and girls, has been one of the proudest things that I've been able to accomplish as a minister. That program has been very carefully planned from the get-go. We relied on Germany to design the operation, because Germany was ahead of us in terms of getting over 1,000 Yazidi women and girls out of that volatile region and into safety in Germany. We sat down and consulted with the Germans, and they shared with us their experiences. We put together our operation, and we designed it with that in mind. Secondly, one of the things we learned very quickly is that this is an extremely vulnerable group that has been particularly traumatized, more than even other vulnerable refugees. So we wanted to make sure that we paced the arrivals, and we did it in stages to allow the local community where they would settle all across Canada to have these intense supports, because these individuals have been through a lot of trauma. And I'm proud to say that our plan worked flawlessly. We have, so far, we've brought over 450 Yazidi women and girls, and even young boys, because we found out through the operation that ISIS was targeting young boys for enslavement and turning them into child soldiers. We've worked very closely with municipalities, with provinces, and with the Yazidi community in Canada to make sure that there is intense wraparound supports to address the psychological, physical, as well as other needs that this particularly vulnerable group has. We have a target of bringing 1,200 Yazidi women and girls, but other survivors of Daesh as well, into Canada by the end of 2017. But we've also encouraged private sponsors of refugees to prioritize Yazidi women and girls when they can in order to do so. And we work really closely with the UNHCR and others to make sure that we continue to do what we can to help those survivors of Daesh. In terms of the friendly countries that can do more, we're playing a leadership role. I've been traveling across the world to share our private sponsorship of refugee model, which is so needed in the world today. And a lot of countries have been coming to Canada and saying, we love your PSR model, can you help us technically? And we've been doing that. And those allocations for PSRs across the UK and Germany and Latin American countries will include allocations and spaces for Yazidi women and girls.